The Lucky Penny's Illusion. In the vast expanse of space, where stars twinkled like scattered diamonds against a velvet backdrop, the cargo ship Lucky Penny glided through the Orion trade routes with an air of unassuming charm. Captain Alara Voss stood at the helm, her fingers dancing over the controls as she hummed an old Earth tune that echoed through the ship's corridors. To any observer, Lucky Penny appeared to be just another mundane trading vessel, its hull painted a faded blue with no visible armaments or signs of danger. Alara was known for her easygoing nature, often seen with a playful smile that belied her sharp intellect and resourcefulness. She had gathered a diverse crew of misfits and dreamers who shared her love for exploration and adventure in this chaotic galaxy. Among them was Jax Riven, her first mate, a tall figure with a penchant for sarcasm and an unwavering loyalty to Alara. "Captain," Jax called out from his station as he monitored their trajectory through the trade routes. "Are we really just going to float around here with no defenses? It's like we're begging for trouble." Alara chuckled softly, glancing at him with an eyebrow raised. "Oh come on, Jax. Look at us. We're harmless. Who would dare attack a ship carrying nothing but cleaning supplies and agricultural equipment?" "Right," he replied dryly, "because nothing says, 'fear me,' like industrial cleaning products." She shrugged playfully before diving back into her tinkering with some of the ship's systems in the maintenance bay below deck. Alara had always had a knack for fixing things. She often joked that if it could be broken or improved upon, she would find a way to do it with whatever was at hand, be it duct tape or rubber bands. As she worked upside down in a cramped maintenance shaft, tightening bolts and humming away, she felt a sense of satisfaction wash over her. This was where she thrived, surrounded by machinery that responded to her touch like an old friend. "Captain." Jax's voice crackled over the intercom, interrupting her thoughts with urgency laced in his tone. "We've got something on sensors, a large object decloaking off our port side." Alara's heart raced as she swung herself down from the maintenance shaft and rushed to the bridge. "What is it?" "It's a Soran warship," Jax replied, his eyes wide as he stared at the screen displaying their imminent threat, a massive vessel adorned with menacing skull motifs that practically screamed pirate. "They're not even trying to hide their intentions." Alara couldn't help but smirk at their audacity as she took in the sight of the dreadnought, its hull gleaming ominously against the backdrop of stars. "Well then," she said casually, "let's give them something to talk about." On screen, Captain Zorak of the dreadnought appeared, his scaled face twisted into what he likely thought was an intimidating glare. "Attention human vessel. This is Captain Zorak. We have scanned your ship and found your weapon systems lacking. Surrender now or face annihilation." Alara leaned back in her chair, crossing her arms as she regarded Zorak with amusement rather than fear. "You know," she said brightly, "I appreciate your clear communication. But I must admit your threats are rather cliché." Zorak blinked in confusion. This wasn't how confrontations were supposed to go. "You see," Alara continued cheerfully while typing commands into her console to prepare for what was coming next, "we're just here to deliver our cargo of cleaning supplies and agricultural equipment." She paused dramatically before adding with mock seriousness, "and we have no weapons, unless you count our superior wit." Jax stifled a laugh while Zorak sputtered in disbelief on screen. "You think this is funny? Your ship is practically begging to be plundered." "Oh dear," Alara sighed dramatically into the comms while simultaneously signaling Maya in engineering about their upcoming guests. "Whatever shall we do?" Maya Chen was their engineer, a brilliant mind known for her creative solutions that often bordered on madness but yielded incredible results nonetheless. Her latest project involved repurposing everyday items into unexpected defenses. "Captain." Maya's voice crackled through just then, her excitement palpable even over comms. "I've been waiting for this. Just give me a moment." Alara exchanged glances with Jax. They both knew Maya's ideas could either be brilliant or disastrous, but there was no denying they were always entertaining. "Let them board," Elara instructed confidently as she prepared for whatever chaos was about to unfold aboard Lucky Penny. Little did Zorak know that he had underestimated not just their ship but also the ingenuity of its crew, a mistake that would soon become painfully clear. As the dreadnought moved closer and began its boarding procedures, Elara felt a thrill run through her veins, the kind that came from knowing they were about to turn this encounter on its head in ways no one could have anticipated. With everything set in motion and Maya eagerly awaiting orders from below deck, Captain Elara Voss couldn't help but grin at what lay ahead, an unexpected showdown between underestimation and human creativity that would echo throughout trade routes long after this day had passed into legend. The Sorin encounter. A sudden threat. As the Lucky Penny floated serenely through the Orion trade routes, the atmosphere aboard the ship shifted dramatically. Captain Elara Voss, still riding the wave of adrenaline from her earlier banter with Captain Zorak of the Dreadnought, felt a sense of anticipation tingling in her fingertips. She had always believed that the most dangerous encounters often came from those who underestimated their opponents, and it seemed that today would be no exception. "Captain," Jaxa's voice broke through her thoughts, his tone now serious. "The Sorin ship is deploying boarding parties. They're coming for us." Elara straightened in her chair, her playful demeanor shifting to focus. "Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?" she replied, a glint of mischief in her eyes. She turned to Maya, who was already buzzing with excitement in engineering. "Maya, are you ready for some fun?" Elara called out, knowing full well that Maya thrived on chaos. "Oh, you bet I am." Maya's voice crackled over the intercom, filled with enthusiasm. "I've got a few surprises up my sleeve." The boarding party arrives. Meanwhile, aboard the Dreadnought, Captain Zorak paced nervously as he prepared his crew for what he believed would be an easy raid. His confidence had swelled when he saw the unarmed human vessel on his scanners, but now he felt a twinge of doubt creeping in. He had heard tales of humans from death worlds, creatures who thrived in environments that would obliterate most other species, but he had dismissed them as mere myths. "Prepare to board," Zorak commanded, his voice booming through the ship. "Show no mercy. These humans think they can mock us with their cleaning supplies and agricultural equipment." As the Sorin pirates breached the hull of the Lucky Penny, they expected to find terrified crew members cowering in fear. Instead, they were met with silence and an eerie stillness that filled the corridors. The pirates exchanged wary glances as they stepped onto the ship. "Something feels off," one pirate muttered nervously. "Quiet. We have a job to do," Zorak snapped, trying to maintain his authority despite his growing unease. The calm before the storm. Back on the Lucky Penny, Elara gathered her crew in the common area just before the pirates entered. "All right, team. It's showtime. Remember, we're not just fighting for our cargo, we're fighting for our pride." Raj nodded, his expression serious yet determined. "Let's give them a surprise they won't forget." Maya grinned widely as she adjusted her safety goggles and prepared her makeshift weapons, cleaning supplies and tools modified for maximum chaos. "I can't wait to see their faces when they realize what we've got in store for them." Elara clapped her hands together. "Let's move into position. Jax, you take point with Raj, I'll coordinate from here." The first encounter. As the first group of pirates entered Junction B7, they were met with an unexpected sight, a corridor filled with strange contraptions and tools scattered about as if someone had been preparing for a chaotic workshop session. "What is this place?" one pirate whispered nervously. Before they could react further, Maya activated her trap. A sudden surge of industrial-grade cleaning solution burst forth from hidden vents above them, filling the corridor with thick foam that quickly enveloped their feet. "What is happening?" one pirate screamed as he slipped and fell into the foam. "Just a little surprise." Maya's cheerful voice echoed through the ship's intercom system. "Welcome to our humble abode. Chaos unleashed." The pirates struggled to regain their footing as they flailed about in the slippery foam. Their suits began to react poorly to the cleaning solution, causing alarms to blare within their helmets. "Get back! Retreat!" Zorak shouted over their comms as he watched his crew descend into chaos from the bridge of the dreadnought. Elara couldn't help but chuckle at the sight unfolding on her monitors. "Looks like they didn't expect us to fight back," she said gleefully. Meanwhile, Raj took advantage of their confusion by activating zero-gravity protocols in nearby sections of the ship. Suddenly, several pirates found themselves floating helplessly as gravity shifted around them. "Hey there!" Raj called out cheerfully as he zipped past them using magnetic boots. "You're going to want to hold on to something. A tactical advantage." With each passing moment, it became clear that Zorak's plan was unraveling before his eyes. His elite boarding party was being systematically dismantled by cleaning supplies and clever engineering rather than any traditional weaponry. "Fall back! Fall back!" Zorak ordered desperately as he watched his crew struggle against Maya's ingenious traps. But it was too late. Maya had already begun implementing her next phase of chaos. She activated additional systems designed to create distractions. Flashing lights and loud noises echoed through the corridors while more cleaning solutions began pouring out from hidden compartments. "What kind of madness is this?" Zorak growled in frustration as he realized that this was not going according to plan at all. The turning tide. As Elara continued to monitor the situation from the bridge, she felt a surge of excitement coursing through her veins. This was not just about survival, it was about proving that even an unarmed cargo ship could stand its ground against those who underestimated it. "Maya," she called out through the intercom, "how are those rubber bands coming along?" "Oh, you'll see." Maya replied gleefully as she prepared another batch of improvised weaponry, this time using rubber bands combined with various tools that could launch projectiles at surprising speeds. Elara grinned at her crew's ingenuity and determination. They were not just fighting against pirates, they were showcasing their creativity and resilience in ways no one could have anticipated. Conclusion: a battle of wits. As the dreadnought continued its assault on Lucky Penny, it became increasingly clear that underestimating humans had been a grave mistake for Captain Zorak and his crew. With every passing moment, Elara and her team transformed what should have been an easy raid into a chaotic spectacle that would be remembered throughout trade routes for years to come. Zorak's frustration mounted as he realized that this battle was not just about weapons or brute force, it was about wit and creativity, a lesson he would soon learn in full force as Lucky Penny prepared to unleash its hidden arsenal against him and his crew of overconfident pirates. Unleashing the arsenal. The calm before the storm. As the chaos unfolded aboard the Lucky Penny, Captain Elara Voss felt a rush of exhilaration. The Soren pirates had expected an easy target, but instead, they were facing a crew that thrived on creativity and resourcefulness. With each passing moment, it became clearer that the pirates had underestimated the humans aboard this seemingly harmless cargo ship. Status report. Elara called out, her eyes glued to the monitors displaying the mayhem unfolding in various sections of the ship. "Engineering reports that Maya is in full creative mode," Jax replied, barely containing his laughter. "She's turned our cleaning supplies into a weaponized foam party." Elara couldn't help but smile at the thought. "Let's keep that momentum going. We need to show these pirates what we're made of." The engineering marvel. Meanwhile, in the engineering bay, Maya Chen was in her element. Surrounded by tools and cleaning supplies, she had transformed the mundane into something extraordinary. With her unique blend of ingenuity and sheer determination, she was ready to unleash her latest creations on the unsuspecting pirates. "Okay, time to kick things up a notch," Maya exclaimed as she prepared her rubber band-powered contraptions. "If they think they can just waltz in here and take our cargo, they've got another thing coming." With a flick of her wrist, she launched a rubber band projectile across the room. It zipped through the air with surprising speed before hitting a nearby wall with a satisfying thud. "Just wait until they see what I've got planned for them." The pirate's perspective. On the dreadnought, Captain Zorak was growing increasingly frustrated as he watched his elite boarding party struggle against a barrage of cleaning supplies and improvised weaponry. His confidence had begun to wane as screams echoed through the comms from his crew. "What is happening down there?" Zorak demanded, slamming his fist on the console. "These humans are supposed to be easy prey." "Captain," one of his officers stammered, "they've weaponized their maintenance protocols. We're being overwhelmed by cleaning foam and—" "Enough!" Zorak interrupted, his patience wearing thin. "Send in reinforcements. We cannot let a bunch of Deathworlders humiliate us like this." Reinforcements arrive. Back on Lucky Penny, Elara was ready for whatever Zorak had in store. She knew that sending in reinforcements would only escalate their situation further. "Maya," she called out, "are you ready for round 2? "Always." Maya replied enthusiastically as she adjusted her goggles and prepared her next wave of surprises. As more Soran pirates boarded the ship, they were met with an unexpected sight, an array of makeshift defenses that looked more like a chaotic science fair than a battle-ready ship. Maya had set up traps using everything from rubber bands to cleaning solutions, creating an environment that was equal parts dangerous and absurd. The first wave of chaos. The first group of reinforcements burst through the door, only to be greeted by a wall of foam that erupted from hidden vents above them. The pirates slipped and slid helplessly as they struggled to regain their footing. "What is this stuff?" one pirate shouted as he fell face-first into the foam. "Oh, just a little concoction I whipped up." Maya's voice chimed through the intercom with glee. "Industrial-grade cleaning solution mixed with some caffeine extract. It really gets the party started." The pirates scrambled backward, their panic palpable as they realized they were not facing ordinary humans but rather a crew armed with creativity and chaos. A tactical advantage. As Elara watched from the bridge, she felt a surge of pride for her team. They were not just defending their ship, they were turning this encounter into an unforgettable spectacle. "Maya," Elara said with excitement, "what's next on your agenda?" "Watch this." Maya replied gleefully as she activated another trap, this time involving high-pressure air jets that sent streams of cleaning solution blasting toward the pirates. The jets created a slippery obstacle course that sent several pirates tumbling to the ground in disarray. Their shouts echoed through the corridors as they tried to regain control amidst the chaos. The turning point. With each passing moment, it became clear that Zorak's plan was falling apart. The Soran captain watched in disbelief as his crew struggled against an onslaught of cleaning supplies and improvised defenses. "This isn't how it was supposed to go," Zorak shouted in frustration. "We should have crushed these humans easily." Elara seized this moment of confusion. "Raj," she said calmly over comms, "are you ready for your part?" "Absolutely," Raj replied with enthusiasm as he prepared to demonstrate why Lucky Penny was not just any cargo ship. Zero-gravity mayhem. Raj activated zero-gravity protocols throughout sections C through F of the ship. Suddenly, pirates found themselves floating helplessly as gravity shifted around them. "Welcome to zero-G combat," Raj announced cheerfully as he bounced from wall to wall using magnetic boots. He expertly maneuvered through the floating chaos while yanking pirates around like puppets on strings. The sight was both hilarious and terrifying for the Soran crew. Their expensive armor became more of a hindrance than an asset in this chaotic environment. "I must admit," Raj said with a grin as he sent two pirates crashing into each other mid-air, "Maya's modifications really do improve maneuverability." A lesson in creativity. As Elara coordinated their efforts from the bridge, she couldn't help but marvel at how far they had come since setting out on this journey. They were not just surviving, they were thriving against all odds. "Maya," she said with pride, "how are we looking on supplies?" "We've used about 60% of our cleaning solution reserves," Maya reported cheerfully over comms. "But don't worry. I haven't even opened my actual toolkit yet. Elara chuckled at Maya's enthusiasm. It was infectious and inspiring. They were turning what should have been a simple raid into an epic battle filled with laughter and creativity. The pirates retreat. As chaos continued to reign aboard Lucky Penny, Captain Zorak realized that his elite warriors were being systematically dismantled by maintenance equipment and creative tactics beyond his comprehension. Fall back! Fall back! Zorak shouted desperately as he watched his crew retreat from what could only be described as an embarrassing defeat at the hands of human ingenuity. With each passing moment, it became clear that underestimating these Deathworlders had been a grave mistake, a lesson learned too late for Captain Zorak and his crew. As Elara watched them flee in disarray, she felt a sense of triumph wash over her. They had turned this encounter into something unforgettable, a testament to human creativity and resilience against all odds. Great work, team! Elara cheered over comms as laughter echoed throughout Lucky Penny. We showed them what we're made of. Maya chimed in joyfully, and we still have plenty of cleaning supplies left for our next adventure. With spirits high and camaraderie stronger than ever, Elara knew this would be just one of many incredible stories shared among traders across the galaxy, a tale about how alien pirates underestimated Deathworlder's hidden arsenal and paid dearly for it. Cleaning chaos. The Soren Pirates' Dilemma. As the chaos unfolded aboard the Lucky Penny, Captain Elara Voss watched with a mixture of pride and amusement. The Soren pirates, who had expected an easy raid, were now caught in a whirlwind of cleaning supplies, rubber bands, and improvised weaponry. It was a sight to behold, pirates slipping and sliding through corridors filled with foam while her crew executed their unconventional tactics with flair. Meanwhile, on the dreadnought, Captain Zorak was pacing furiously on the bridge. His elite boarding party was retreating from what could only be described as a cleaning supply nightmare. "This cannot be happening," he shouted, his frustration boiling over. "These humans are supposed to be easy prey." "Captain," one of his officers stammered, "they've weaponized their maintenance protocols. We're being overwhelmed by cleaning foam and rubber bands." Zorak's scales darkened with rage as he realized the gravity of the situation. "Send in the heavy assault team. We cannot let these Deathworlders humiliate us." Maya's ingenious defense. Back on the Lucky Penny, Maya Chen was reveling in her role as the ship's engineer. She had turned their mundane cargo into a formidable defense system, and her enthusiasm was infectious. "Just wait until they see my next surprise," she exclaimed as she prepared for the incoming assault. With a flick of her wrist, she activated a series of high-pressure air jets that blasted streams of cleaning solution down the corridors. The jets created an obstacle course that sent several pirates tumbling to the ground in disarray. "Welcome to Zero-G combat," Raj shouted gleefully as he disabled gravity in sections C through F of the ship. The pirates found themselves floating helplessly, their armor becoming more of a hindrance than a help. The heavy assault team. As Zorak watched his heavy assault team breach another section of the Lucky Penny, he felt a glimmer of hope. Surely, they would not fall victim to cleaning supplies and rubber bands. But as they entered the corridor, they were met with an unexpected sight, Maya standing confidently at the far end, surrounded by an array of tools. "Safety first," she called out cheerfully, pulling down her protective visor. "Always wear proper eye protection when operating high-temperature tools." Before the pirates could react, Maya activated all 15 plasma cutters she had modified for maximum efficiency. The resulting wall of plasma lit up the corridor like fireworks on a summer night. A lesson in physics. Raj continued to demonstrate why Lucky Penny had become a legend among traders. He bounced from wall to wall using magnetic boots, yanking pirates around like puppets on strings. The sight was both hilarious and terrifying for the Soren crew. Their expensive armor became more of a liability than an asset in this chaotic environment. The thing about magnetic boots, Raj explained patiently to the floating pirates, is that they create powerful controllable magnetic fields. With each calculated kickoff from the walls, he sent pirates crashing into one another with perfect precision. I must admit, Raj said with a grin as he sent 3 pirates colliding mid-air, Maya's modifications really do improve maneuverability. Maya's toolkit unleashed. Back in engineering, Maya was not finished yet. She had been waiting for this moment, the moment when she could unleash her full arsenal of tools on these unsuspecting pirates. With a mischievous glint in her eye, she prepared her toolkit for battle. "Remember when I requested 15 industrial-grade plasma cutters," she said over comms with excitement. "Well, let's see what happens when I turn them into kinetic projectiles." With that, Maya launched socket wrenches and other tools into the air like missiles, each one precisely calibrated for maximum impact. The sound of clanging metal echoed through the corridors as her makeshift railgun found its marks with surprising accuracy. The pirates retreat. On the dreadnought, Zorak watched in horror as his elite warriors were systematically dismantled by maintenance equipment and cleaning supplies. His tactical display showed his troops retreating from what was labeled as cleaning operations and routine maintenance procedures. "Fall back! Fall back!" Zorak shouted desperately as he realized that this battle was turning into an embarrassing defeat. Meanwhile, Elara coordinated their efforts from the bridge with glee. "Status report," she called out excitedly. Maya's voice came through accompanied by laughter and sounds of chaos. "They really don't like it when I demonstrate proper tool usage. Also, we might need to requisition new floor panels, and ceiling panels, well, just panels in general." Raj chimed in next. "Zero-G combat training is proving highly effective. But I think some of the pirates are getting motion sickness." Elara couldn't help but laugh at their predicament. They were not just surviving, they were thriving against all odds. A turning point. As Zorak witnessed his crew's humiliating retreat from the Lucky Penny, he realized that underestimating these Deathworlders had been a grave mistake, a lesson learned too late for him and his crew. "Get us out of here!" Zorak shouted at his helmsman as he watched his elite warriors flee from what could only be described as an absurd defeat at the hands of human ingenuity. Elara watched them retreat with satisfaction. They had turned what should have been a simple raid into an unforgettable spectacle, a testament to human creativity and resilience against all odds. "Maya," Elara said with pride, "how are we looking on supplies?" "We've used about 60% of our cleaning solution reserves," Maya reported cheerfully over comms. "But don't worry. I haven't even opened my actual toolkit yet." With spirits high and camaraderie stronger than ever, Elara knew this would be just one of many incredible stories shared among traders across the galaxy, a tale about how alien pirates underestimated Deathworlder's hidden arsenal and paid dearly for it. Conclusion: the aftermath. As the dreadnought retreated into space, leaving behind its defeated crew aboard Lucky Penny, Elara felt a sense of triumph wash over her. They had proven once again that appearances could be deceiving, that even a seemingly harmless cargo ship could stand its ground against those who underestimated it. With laughter echoing throughout the ship, Elara knew that this victory would resonate across trade routes for years to come, a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous things in the galaxy are those that don't look dangerous at all, especially when they're crewed by humans who love to tinker and innovate against all odds. The final stand. The tide turns. As chaos reigned aboard the Lucky Penny, Captain Elara Voss felt a surge of exhilaration. The Soren pirates had underestimated her crew, and now they were paying the price. With each passing moment, the pirates' confidence eroded as they faced an onslaught of cleaning supplies, improvised weaponry, and the sheer unpredictability of human ingenuity. "Status report." Elara called out, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around her. "Maya still demonstrating proper tool usage," Raj replied with a hint of laughter in his tone. "And I think some of the pirates are starting to reconsider their life choices." Elara grinned. Good. Let's keep the pressure on them. We can't let up now. Maya's ingenious toolkit. In engineering, Maya Chen was in her element. She had transformed her toolkit into a formidable arsenal, launching socket wrenches and other tools like projectiles at the retreating pirates. Each tool was precisely calibrated for maximum impact, and Maya reveled in her creativity. "Hey, Raj," she called out over the comms, "remember when I requested 15 industrial-grade plasma cutters for basic maintenance? Well, let's see what happens when I turn them into kinetic projectiles." Raj chuckled. "I think they're about to find out just how creative you can be." With a flick of her wrist, Maya activated her modified plasma cutters and sent them flying down the corridor. The sight was both terrifying and awe-inspiring as the pirates scrambled to avoid the incoming barrage. The pirates' desperation. On the dreadnought, Captain Zorak watched in disbelief as his elite warriors were systematically dismantled by maintenance equipment. His tactical display showed his troops retreating from what was labeled as cleaning operations and routine maintenance procedures. "Fall back! Fall back!" Zorak shouted, his frustration boiling over. This isn't how it was supposed to go. The Soren captain realized that underestimating these Deathworlders had been a grave mistake. They were not just facing a harmless cargo ship, they were up against a crew that thrived on creativity and chaos. Raj's zero-gravity playground. Meanwhile, Raj continued to demonstrate why Lucky Penny had become a legend among traders. He disabled gravity in sections C through F, creating a zero-gravity playground that would have made Newton question his life choices. "The thing about magnetic boots," Raj explained patiently to the floating pirates, "is that they create powerful controllable magnetic fields." He kicked off a wall, sending himself soaring toward another group of pirates. What followed was a physics lesson that these pirates would rather forget, he mused as he sent 3 pirates crashing into each other with perfectly calculated trajectories. A lesson in creativity. Back on the bridge, Elara coordinated their efforts with glee. "Maya," she said with pride, "how are we looking on supplies?" "We've used about 60% of our cleaning solution reserves," Maya reported cheerfully over comms. "But don't worry. I haven't even opened my actual toolkit yet." The crew shared a laugh as they realized just how far they had come since this encounter began. They were not just surviving, they were thriving against all odds. Zorak's last resort. As Zorak witnessed his crew's humiliating retreat from Lucky Penny, he knew he had to take drastic measures. "Get us out of here," he shouted at his helmsman as he watched his elite warriors flee from what could only be described as an absurd defeat. But Zorak wasn't ready to give up just yet. He activated his ship's weapon systems, preparing for one last desperate attempt to regain control of the situation. "Prepare to fire," he commanded, but before he could issue the order, Elara's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain Kak," she said brightly, "you might want to rethink that strategy." The final showdown. With a flick of her wrist, Elara activated Maya's final surprise, a series of high-pressure air jets that blasted streams of cleaning solution down the corridors once more. The jets created an obstacle course that sent several pirates tumbling to the ground in disarray. "What is happening?" Zorak shouted in disbelief as he watched his crew struggle against an onslaught of cleaning supplies and improvised weaponry. "This is just standard cargo ship supplies," Elara replied cheerfully. "But I should warn you, Maya gets creative when she's bored." As Zorak watched in horror, he realized that this battle was not just about weapons or brute force, it was about wit and creativity, a lesson he would soon learn in full force. The pirates' humiliation. As chaos continued to reign aboard Lucky Penny, Captain Zorak felt his grip on reality slipping away. His elite warriors were being systematically dismantled by maintenance equipment and cleaning supplies, tools that had been transformed into weapons by a crew that refused to back down. "Get us out of here!" Zorak screamed again, but it was too late, his crew had already succumbed to the absurdity of their situation. Elara couldn't help but laugh at their predicament. They had turned what should have been a simple raid into an unforgettable spectacle, a testament to human creativity and resilience against all odds. Conclusion: a victory for creativity. As the dreadnought retreated into space, leaving behind its defeated crew aboard Lucky Penny, Elara felt a sense of triumph wash over her. They had proven once again that appearances could be deceiving, that even a seemingly harmless cargo ship could stand its ground against those who underestimated it.